Let's go to Nate Olson, who is our guru on high school football. He and Rex Nelson had been hosting the high school football Friday night scoreboard show throughout the regular season. Nate, do you need to? Can you admonish our buddy SmackDown for not taking a taco eating contest seriously before you give us some football recap?
Look, okay.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
he doesn't want you to feel bad. That's fine.
No, Nate,
fine.
go
Nate's
ahead.
too nice. Nate's way too nice. Let's just do football instead.
Nate, all I've done this week, the past 2 days have just been pure misery for people just nagging me on. The only three people that's came to my defense is Matty T and Phil, and we've had a texter or two, Robert Fort Smith being the main one. That's the only three people that's given me any hope in life.
You should be thanking me because Nikki and I earlier had planned on making fun of you, and I forgot to ask her what she was having for lunch. She was going to answer tacos, but...
Oh, wow.
So don't tell me I'm not...
Nate, are you having tacos for lunch today, Nate?
Well, I had a young guy right here, my son Luke, that wanted me to go to Taco Bell today. He wanted that new dragon fruit freeze or whatever, and I refused to do it. If I'd have known about the joke, I would have definitely gone up some tacos.
Well, there's always next week when you come back on. So
exactly, yeah.
So
exactly.
One more week of high school football, Nate. One more weekend, right?
Yeah. Well, two more. We've got we end up on the 19th with the 4A and 3A. So we're going along. This weekend was fun. I actually went to the Greenwood Lake Hamilton game and covered it for Scoreboard Live. So it was really great for me to see guys like LD Richmond and Wilkinson, who we talk about every week, and I've seen them on live feeds, but haven't seen them in person. And boy, you can't really say enough about Chris Young and Greenwood. Down 10-0. Lake Hamilton gets the ball to start the game. They march down the field with one of those methodical drives, using that wing tee to perfection. Greenwood doesn't give up a touchdown, but they get a 37-yard field goal, and then Greenwood makes a rare mistake on the kickoff, fumbles the ball away. Lake Hamilton converts 10-0. Greenwood gets the ball back, 3 and out. Looks really great for Lake Hamilton. Lake Hamilton comes down the field again, moves the ball. This is second quarter, and Greenwood stops them with a big sack, which was probably one of the keys in the game. Big sack there from Park.
Did we lose Nate?
I'll try him again.
All right. We'll slip Nate on hold for a second. I think we might have lost Nate there for a second. But if you got any high school questions here for Nate Olson, we'll hang on here with us, and we'll see if we can get Nate back here connected. It's 877-377-6963 as we get him back connected. But one thing we're going to touch on him here just in a second.
That's Saline County cell phone signal there.
Exactly. Bryant getting their third straight state championship, beating North Little Rock in that one, and obviously got a lot of big games coming up this weekend. PA and PA and Little Rock Christian, which is going to have Ty's attention, I'm sure, being a Little Rock Christian graduate. And that's a rematch too. Remember, because the year before, or was it 2 years ago? I forget. You had that same matchup, and Little Rock Christian pulled off the upset. All right, I think we got Nate back here connected.
And he's
Nate,
back.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I guess we lost connection with you. Go ahead.
Your son's eating too many tacos. He blew up the phone. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So did you guys hear? So. Did you hear the part where Lake Hamilton takes the 10-0 lead? Did you hear any of that?
No, not there.
Okay. So Lake Hamilton takes the 10-0 lead early with a field goal and a turnover on a kickoff, and then Lake Hamilton stops Greenwood 3 and out. Lake Hamilton comes down and looks like they're going to score again, and Parker Gill from Greenwood makes a great sack. They blitz. He sacks the quarterback. Lake Hamilton does not score. They have to punt. And then Greenwood goes on a 35-0 run. Lake Hamilton doesn't score again until the fourth quarter. And so the sack was really key, because if Lake Hamilton goes up 17-0 there, it's a different game probably. The other key play of the game was Lake Hamilton had a chance to score again right before the end of the half. And they would have taken the lead there. It's 4th and 3, and they had a guy open in the end zone, and they couldn't hit him. And so a lot of teams, Greenwood takes over in their own territory with about 20 seconds left in the half. A lot of teams right there will go ahead, take a knee. They'll go into the half. Not Greenwood. L.D. Richmond throws a 71-yard bomb to Luke Brewer, touchdown right before the end of the half, and that really kind of sealed it for them, I think. They got the ball, on the first and the second half, received, and scored, and Wilkinson got in on the act and started running the ball better in the second half, and they really did a good job. You can't say enough about them. We've talked about them all year long. They've taken on opponents that were given to them on the spur of the moment, Harbor, Bentonville West, and I think you've got to consider them with an undefeated season like that. And I know they're a 6A team, but I think you've got to consider them maybe even second over North Little Rock, definitely third in the overall poll over Bentonville for sure, I think, or whoever else might be there if you wanted to put a PA if they win or somebody else. But Greenwood, can't say enough about Chris Young, the first coach to go undefeated in his first year since 2013 when Doug Kendrick did it.
Wow.
For Charleston, and one of only 4 father-son teams that have won state titles. Joe Fred Young, you'll remember he was the great coach at Northside. I think the field is named, stadium's named after him, maybe over there. Maybe not. That's Thompson Mayo. But I thought there was something maybe. Anyway, very, very illustrious coach, and his son is following in his footsteps. Greenwood doesn't miss a beat after losing Rick Jones to the University of Missouri.
Nate Olson here with us on Halftime. Nate, we got a couple text messages and a couple other games we want to preview on, so let's just start right from the top. Let's go to the 7A state championship this weekend. Bryant winning their 3rd state championship, and just a dominating season from Bryant, and they had their hands full. They had their hands full Saturday taking on North Little Rock for the second time this season, but ended up winning that one 27-17. But what does this say about Bryant as a program here in the state of Arkansas? 3 straight state championships is nothing to take shy of, and Bryant's here to stay, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to have a column on Scoreboard Live basically this week talking about that. There hasn't been a team lately that's been able, Bentonville's been very good. They're very dominant. I think they've won 5 titles since 2001. They won back-to-back a few years ago. Fayetteville did the same thing. So they've been very, very good over the 2000s. But I think Bryant can maybe take this whole dynasty thing to another level and win, let's just say 6 of 7, 7 of 10, something like that. And I talked to Bud James about that last night, and he said a lot of it's going to depend on who everybody else has too. I mean, he said to win that many times he said winning 3 was really hard, and people will predict them to win next year. They'll probably be favored again to win the 4th one, even though their roster is decimated with graduation. They have that much talent. I mean, they haven't lost a junior high game in a couple of years. No, their 9th grade teams go undefeated every year. Mm-hmm. So there's all these every year. They've got a sophomore class coming in that's super talented. So I think you're right. I think they're here to stay. I think they're going to have a chance to put together a really special run that would kind of conclude Buck's 56. And so I think he'll coach for several more years, and they could have a really incredible historic run during that time, I think. But hats off to North Little Rock. They did something that Conway wasn't able to do when they played them twice, and that is make adjustments and make it closer. North Little Rock made a lot of adjustments. They dropped back 8 guys, and it befuddled Bryant for a while. They were down. They did get it to 20-0, and then North Little Rock was 20-7. Scored 20-7 at the break, and then in the second half, Bryant got the ball, went for it on 4th and 1 around midfield, didn't make it. That kind of opened up the door, but it was a tough game for Bryant. They struggled at times. They leaned on the running game. Tanner Anderson had a huge game, and they got yards when they need them, and their defense came up big, holding them to a field goal and a touchdown, and not giving up a touchdown late when they went for it. So very, very good game by them. But North Little Rock, they gave it to them. I mean, there were some people that predicted a 30-point differential in this game. So you got to feel good if you're North Little Rock. You made it close.
Real quick before we let you go, we got 2 texts we want to get in here real quick, previewing 2 big games coming up this weekend. One I've got my eye on just because I'm a 5A boy, and both these teams are in our conference. Little Rock Christian and Pulaski Academy going for another big state championship this weekend. Coming out of the 5A, I mean, you got a 13-0 team at Pulaski Academy, and Nate, their offense that Pulaski Academy's put on the field this season has been nothing short of stellar for the numbers that they've been putting up. But that 5A state championship is going to be one to watch this weekend.
Yeah, they're both really good. And Corey Platt Jr., I think he had 4 touchdowns against Harrison for Little Rock Christian. He is an unbelievable athlete going to Tulane, I believe. PA, you just can't say enough. I mean, that's kind of what I think Bryant can do, but, in the bigger class. So I think it's 5 of 6 state championships that PA has won, and they just reload. Every year they've got 2 quarterbacks this year that play. Joe Hyman's the best running back you've never heard of. Junior, I think he's a big-time Division I talent. I don't think he's quite got the major offers yet. He's got some, but he's a great player. And whenever they have a running back, it just helps them that much more because they do a lot of those short throws out of the backfield. So, I mean, he gets a lot of passing or receiving yards or more basically like runs. But, yeah, look for a high-scoring game. You go to that one, take a lunch because it'll be about a 4.5-hour game. Those games are always. I mean, I covered a game when it was like 88-66 a couple years ago. That was so long. It was fun, but man, it was long. So yeah, I think it'll be another classic. They've split the last 2 title games, and so they're kind of looking for the rubber match here. It should be good. And those teams are really heated rivals too. They're separated by about 5 minutes in West Little Rock, so their fan bases really get after each other. So this week's been probably a lot of fun. It will be a lot of fun for the student body and the supporters of both schools.
Well, for you too, Nate, because I know you love watching these games as much as you can, and got a couple of weeks left of it, so have fun, and looking forward to talking about it again next week.
You bet. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Nate.
It's Nate Olson. Follow him on Twitter at NDO Sports.